Studio Q, Queen's student television, is brought to you in part by Procter & Gamble, continuing a long tradition of hiring Queen students.
Of Studio Q. I'm Carolyn Taylor.
And I'm Bob Partington. And we're on location at the J-Duck here, University and Union Street, the hub of Kingston.
The heart of Kingston,
the heart
is what I think.
Of university life.
I think so, definitely. So we're going to be walking around campus, and we're also going to go and take a look at the One World Bazaar that's going on inside the J-Duck. Lots of good crafty stuff for Christmas, I think.
Oh, yeah.
A super show. We've also got a contest going on this week. Again, we're going to have a reporter roaming around the student ghetto, and if they find you watching Studio Q as we speak, then you can win a lunch at the Lone Star.
Oh yes. On Wednesday, students went to Ottawa to protest Lloyd Axworthy's proposed spending cuts on education. Studio Q sent a crew of reporters down to cover it, and here's Stephanie Wilson with more.
Who said Canadians were apathetic? Could this be Generation X, a group that is supposed to be made up of slackers? On Wednesday, over 12,000 students from across the country marched on Parliament Hill to protest Lloyd Axworthy's proposed spending cuts to post-secondary education. Cuts that many say will result in double tuition fees by 1997.
Stand up, fight back! Education is a right! Stand up, fight back! Education is a right! Stand up, fight back! Education is a right!
Student diet.
Almost 100 Queen students participated in the protest, loading buses at 9 a.m. for the trek to Ottawa. Students had their own reasons for going.
I, for one, would like to be more aware of what's going on. So it's much more of a fact-finding trip than any kind of, I guess, sort of political movement.
It's not the cheapest thing in the world for us to be at university, and I know a lot of us have a lot of trouble paying for, being there. And I want to see what other people have to say about, the proposals that Axworthy's put forward to the Canadian public.
The Academic Affairs Commission subsidized transportation to Ottawa, even though Queen's is a member of the Ontario Undergraduate Students Alliance, a group that did not officially endorse the rally.
USA's position, and the AMS's as well, is that the strongest way to influence government is that what we do at the table, actually at the table trying to work on policy. But I think that this is something that allows students to get directly involved, and a lot of students wanted a chance to express their own opinion, and I definitely don't think it's going to do anything to hurt our chances at negotiations with the government.
Ottawa U organized the rally, and the university's president was happy with the turnout.
I can't believe the crowd. We have so many people.
Numerous officials, student leaders, and politicians spoke to the crowd in support of the protest.
We talk about social reform policy. You sure this is not reform social policy? And how can huge government loans be bad and huge student loans be good? Mr. Axworthy, you gotta look at that again. Our message today to the government of Canada is clear and strong. We did not elect a Liberal government to implement Reform Party policies.
Bruce Camarade and Art Bergman performed while students waited to hear from the man himself. Earlier in the day, it was announced that Lloyd Axworthy would address the crowd. When he finally stepped up to the podium, Axworthy was met with flying eggs and Kraft dinner. He seemed shaken by the negative reception he received from students.
Is to at least be prepared to listen to the other point of view. There's always two points of view to every case, and I think it's important that you be at least prepared to listen. Maybe that's the first step in a good education, is to have a serious debate. We were simply trying to put forward to Canadians a serious set of options and choices. I'll send you the bill later, okay? Come across the table, meet with me, talk to me, present your ideas, put your suggestions forward. That's what we do in a democracy. We don't stand up and shut people down. We prepare to debate seriously what the choices and options are. Join us in reform. Join us in change. Join us in making things better. That's the invitation. Do you have the guts to take up that invitation? Or are you going to stand and protest? That's the invitation.
When Axworthy finished, Jean Charest stepped up to throw in his own criticisms.
For 9 years in the House of Commons, they stood up and they thought they served you a rhetoric today, that day, and now today they're giving you another story. They're trying to tell you that the world has changed. The problem is that the Liberals have changed now that they're in government.
So much for slackers. Generation X was out in force today. But the question now is, will students continue their protest once everyone's gone home? For Studio Q, I'm Stephanie Wilson reporting from Ottawa.
As the AMS drummed up support for the rally, not everyone on campus shared similar enthusiasm for the protest. Most vocal was the Progressive Conservative Club, which decided to take a position to protest the protest. The Liberal government's controversial proposal, which could double tuition by 1997, is being supported by the campus Conservatives. While it is ironic that the PC Club is supporting the Liberal proposal, it is the principle behind Axworthy's paper that is being questioned.
I'm standing here defending the philosophy because I think it's right.
Bertrand was quick to attack the protest movement.
Start to face reality. If we protest this discussion, which Mr. Axworthy has proposed, it is an extremely short-sighted view of not only what the future of Canada, but the future of Queen's University can be.
Present at the debate in support of the protest was a representative from the International Socialists.
We can't do anything about it. Well, I want to argue that students do have the power to change things. They do have the power to change, to fight these cuts and win. I think the response by students to the call for the demonstration on Wednesday shows the idea that students are apathetic to be untrue.
While Bertrand respects the idea of a protest, he is wary of the motives behind students who attended Wednesday's rally.
I think that to argue that it's completely silly not to protest is wrong, there are all kinds of different valid ways to tell Mr. Axworthy, and bribing students with bans is not the way to tell Mr. Axworthy how we feel about his discussion paper.
For the International Socialists, the protest is an important mechanism for the voice of students facing a potential shock to the university system.
And it comes down to a very simple issue. Do you want your tuition to double? Do you want universities to become playgrounds of the rich? And the only way that we can fight these cuts is to mobilize, is to build solidarity among people, and to get out to Ottawa on Wednesday to fight this.
Ironically enough, the Liberal organization on campus was not even invited to participate in the debate to defend its own government. But the Progressive Conservative standpoint illustrates conflicting views on an issue that's sure to affect all students. For Studio Q, I'm Jeff Norton reporting.
Gary Bennett is mayor-elect for the city of Kingston. A 2-degree graduate from Queens, Bennett beat 4 other city councillors, including Mayor Ken Matthews, who was appointed last year to replace Helen Cooper. Alcohol Awareness Week taught Queens students a few things about drinking. Drinking responsibly, that is. The purpose of the week is to educate students about alcohol and substance abuse. Some students got to try the mocktails in the John Deutsch University Center. This week marks Greater China Week on campus. Exhibits of Chinese life and culture were on display in Wallace Hall every day. A variety of activities, ranging from Chinese nodding to Chinese chess, kept participants busy during the week. Some students got the chance to sample some of the Chinese food, too. Wednesday night, students donated non-perishable goods to the Hidden Hunger Food Drive. The proceeds of the drive were donated to the Partners in Mission Food Bank, an organization that gives the food to those students and members of the Kingston community that are in need. Co-chair of the committee, Jen Fowler, says that the food drive was successful. There were more contributions to Hidden Hunger Week. The Arrogant Worms donated the proceeds of their Sunday night show to the food bank. Coming up, Studio Q takes a look at ritual, a Queen's engineering tradition. Only on Studio Q. The A&P on Berry Street is a lifeline for many ghetto dwellers. It's also rumored to be the most expensive A&P in Canada. Kathy Byers grabbed her Super Saver card and checked out some prices.
Most Queen students either believe or have heard the rumor that the Berry Street A&P is the most expensive in Canada. Even more expensive than the A&P only 10 minutes downtown on Barrack Street. Students wonder if it is a store taking advantage of the student population. Ken Coombs of A&P head offices assured students that such rumors are untrue. He stated that the most expensive A&Ps are often situated in large metropolitan areas. Both of the A&P stores in the Kingston area have the same competitive prices on all grocery items. Our investigation of the two stores compared the prices of items such as chicken breast, ground beef, and A&P cheese. As a result, significant differences in prices were uncovered. The Berry store charged $1.10 more per kilogram for chicken, had a higher price of beef marked during a sale, and had the cheese price 19 cents higher than the Barrack Street store. Shirley Radley of A&P head office offered these explanations for our findings. An overstock of chicken in the Barrack Street store resulted in an authorized price reduction for quick sale. Old cheese labels are being changed to promote a new image in the Barrack Street location, therefore their cheese is priced lower to encourage sales. The misprint of the beef price in the Berry store could easily be the result of human error. According to A&P pricing policy, no individual store is authorized to change the set prices by head office. This policy did coincide with our comparison of shelved items in the two stores, such as ice cream and orange juice. A&P management from both locations declined to appear on camera. They did offer justifications as to the differences in price. However, that does not erase the reality that on the day of comparison, there were significant price differences on select items. Although it may not be the most expensive A&P in Canada, if you're a penny pincher, you may choose to look elsewhere. For Studio Q, this is Kathy Byers reporting.
Hi there, this is Kirsten Smith bringing you What's On Where. Tuesday, The Outsiders, Wednesday it's Top Gun, and finally come out for Rugger Pant Thursday. Selecting your best early 80s outfit, you can win. On Friday, The Shot come out for an arts and science ritual with special deals all day. Next week, there's $2 Tuesdays, so come out for non-stop great deals. And Haskell and Cleavers will be playing on Wednesday night, so come out for some live music. At Alfie's on Friday and Saturday night, come and see the Queen's Players. Next Tuesday, it's Comedy Night, and next Wednesday night, the Caspers are opening for the Inbreds CD release party. This cool new disc is called Combinator. I'm Kirsten Smith. Until next week, that's it for What's On Where.
Each year, second-year med students organize a full-scale variety show. This year, Jen Janson dropped by the Med Sullivan show and brings us this report.
This past weekend, Grant Hall was once again filled with the sights and sounds of Medical Variety Night. Over 250 students entertained a full house on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights.
It's a tradition that's been going on at Queen's for 24 years. And this is, every year it's put on by the second-year medical class, and it's a variety show that's put together to raise money for local Kingston charities.
Someday we'll recall the greatest day of all. Med
Not only does Med's Variety Night provide a forum for students in the health sciences to display their talent, but the money raised is for a good cause.
Well, last year they raised over $12,000, which they gave away to 12 charities. So we're hoping that we'll be able to at least make the same amount that they did, hopefully maybe a little bit more.
This year, the performers' enthusiasm captivated the audience for the entire duration of the show.
This has been a great experience. I've had a lot of fun, and I think everyone else here has had a lot of fun. And that's about all. I'm looking forward to performing tonight.
Reporting for Studio Q, I'm Jen Janson.
Don't be nervous. Don't be shy. Come on down to VMail and speak out. Presented to you by Studio Q and the JDUC. We'll be in the JDUC every Monday between 11:30 and 1:30. The next VMail airs December 1st and 2nd.
What is there to do on a Friday afternoon? Some people like to catch a few classes. Others put in some productive time at the library. And some like to spend some quiet hours relaxing with friends. And then there are those who just can't wait until Friday night to begin their weekend festivities. They prefer to spend Friday afternoon right here at Clark Hall Pub. Engineers and anyone else on campus who's brave enough can come to engage in 6 hours of drinking and festivities, commonly known as ritual. If you've ever wandered by the bookstore and wondered what was going on upstairs, but weren't brave enough to check it out, here's what you've been missing. What sorts of things are you likely to see on a Friday afternoon at Clark Hall Pub?
Someone was smoking in the bar, and they were told not to smoke in the bar. They were, like, warned. And what they did was, one of the guys went in the bathroom, took all his clothes off, and walked out nude, and all the Sycons followed him. And then someone lit up a cigarette in the corner there. So it was like a diversion, but it was quite amusing to see this guy come buck naked out and take the bullet for the team and walk out buck naked.
I've seen people who just so loaded they spend the last hour just sucking face with their close neighbor or whoever's there.
The best, the craziest people are the ones who are never crazy sober, who come here and have a few drinks and then dance. Those are the craziest people.
Ritual also has its more low-key attractions, like a big-screen TV, ritual dogs, and padded headrests in the bathroom stalls. While it may not be Cheers, Ritual has its own regulars.
There's some 96 mechs who show up all the time. There's this guy, Dean, 95 and a half. I guess he's probably a mature student. He's here every ritual. Dean, have you seen that guy with long hair? Yeah, he's always here.
So I started with the 95s, but I'm going to graduate with the 96s.
And for those of you who can afford to skip Friday afternoon at the library and come on out to Ritual, the staff have one piece of advice.
Don't wear white. No, bad. We have Clark's white here.
For Studio Q, I'm Thea Andrews reporting.
The issues facing our fair city today are not housing, not the economy, not taxation. The real issues of Kingston today are the weather. As mayor, I vow to improve the weather by building a giant purple dome over the entire city.
Well, if I was going to be the mayor of Kingston, I'd make damn sure that Kingston was brought back to the position it used to have, capital of Canada.
I believe the first thing I would do if I was mayor of Kingston is line up a large fleet of tugboats along the shore and tow Kingston out to sea and someplace a little warmer. Because right now I'm not ready for the winter here. I feel it will be a little too cold.
My first plan would be the Toronto-Kingston Canal. I'm sick of driving to Toronto, and I'd like to take a boat. Of course, A small boat on Lake Ontario would be treacherous, so I would like a canal placed between my house and the school so I could drive and have fun.
If I were the mayor of Kingston, I'd definitely change the bus system because I find myself out on the street till 10 o'clock every other week trying to find where my bus is. So I really wish they'd change the buses once and for all and keep them that way for the year.
Turn into a giant theme park. People will flock from miles around. Anyone without a job will move them to Kingston, Jamaica. Employment will drop to 0.
Well, first of all, I think I'd make recycling boxes bigger, much bigger. In fact, a whole hell of a lot bigger. Recycling boxes just aren't big enough.
I'd fix up the sidewalks, clean up the downtown area, and give Queens a few more bars.
We would make beer cheaper.
Keg parties, chamber, city hall.
I'm going to take over the whole city, take over Queens University.
Next week, Studio Q in New York. We ran into a couple of people you might know.
Hi, my name is Mike Myers. Welcome to New York.
Don't miss it.
On Friday, the men's hockey team pulled off a huge upset as they beat the previously undefeated Wilfrid Laurier Golden Hawks 4-1. The Gales opened the scoring early in the first period and never looked back as they cruised to their second win of the season. And the men were back in action on Saturday against Waterloo, this time, however, falling 1-0 to the Warriors. It was a tight game with Waterloo scoring midway through the third period. Goaltender Martin Cicchetto had a brilliant weekend, stopping 65 shots and letting in only 2 goals in 2 games. Cicchetto is this week's Male Athlete of the Week. The women's squash team hosted the East Sectional 2s on the weekend. Toronto defaulted at the last second, which left only Ryerson to trash. Queens won 12-0 and took all 3 matchups 3-0. At the Concordia tournament on the weekend, the Gales lost 72-67 to Concordia and 80-52 to Laurentian before going on to beat Ryerson 82-56. Good enough for a 7th place finish overall. And finally, the women's water polo team held the sectional 2s, taking 3 matches and tying another. The Gales beat Mac 8-4, Brock 11-3, York 13-5, and tied U of T 6-6.
Well, Jay, I'm a little disappointed. Vandy Cup's coming up this weekend, and the Gales and I are nowhere near it. But I'm taking a little consolation in the fact that Bishops got pounded twice this past weekend.
That's right, Tim. The men's rugby team, who are OUAA champions for the 2nd consecutive year, trashed Bishops, who are the Quebec championships, a truly fitting end to a truly remarkable season. And in fact, it's inspired me to challenge you to a rugby match. This is going to be the first ever Studio Q sports staff intercollegiate game, and I'm going to beat you bad.
Bring the noise.
After going over the rules with honorary ref Kevin Brenders, the 2 sides locked into an aggressive battle, which saw numerous references made to the style of play of the OU champions, Queens Golden Gales. The game remained scoreless until Ware broke free down the sidelines and scored a diving try into the far corner. But all was not lost for Durant's side. With less than a minute to go, Durant made a move that left Ware fumbling in his jockstrap. The try tied the game at 4 and sent the match into a sudden death penalty kick showdown. Ware nailed his first attempt from 30 yards out to go up by 1. But Durant would not falter. He also made his first attempt to set up a second round. But on his next attempt, Durant would miss, setting up Ware with a chance to win it all. And on the very next kick, he did just that, drilling it right down the pipe to capture the title. The first annual Studio Q Sports Staff Rugby matchup goes to Tim Ware as he beats Jay Durant in a close one on penalty kicks. Well, Tim, congratulations on the game. A very impressive performance indeed, I must say.
Well, thanks very much, Jay, and I guess that's going to have to take the place of the Vanier Cup for me this year.
I'm going to be practicing hard in the off-season. I'm going to beat you bad come next year's game.
Looking forward to it.
Now to look at real men's rugby, here's Holly Moore with the story.
Well, it was a great day for the Queen's men's rugby team when they stepped out on Kingston Field this Saturday for yet another victory. Saturday's 32-6 win against Bishops marked a special victory for Queens, for it was the first ever Ontario-Quebec championship, and it granted the team the title of the Eastern Canadian champions. This title was well earned as the team played a spectacular game against Bishops, demonstrating the skills which resulted in the team's winning of the OUAA championship last weekend, a title which they have won 8 times in the past 9 years. While Bishops at first put up a good fight, it became evident that some of the players couldn't take the Queen's heat. Our dominance also caused some tempers to flare. Fortunately, this confrontation quickly ended and play was resumed. This first ever win of the Ontario-Quebec Championship was very special for the players.
Well, I guess every time you win a championship, it's a pretty good feeling. I mean, well, the whole club, you know, comes out and they work kind of 5 days a week and put a heck of a lot of time and energy into it. And 15 guys coming together at the end and putting enough effort in to really win the championship's really something. And this is my last one, so it's a really good feeling.
Feels great. I just like putting on the jersey every week and coming out and playing. Feels good.
Although this Ontario-Quebec Championship was a big step towards greater recognition for men's rugby, Coach Al Forrester hopes that in the next 3 or 4 years, men's rugby will compete for a national championship, and he hopes Queens will be a part of it.
It's great. I'm kind of looking forward to hopefully coming back actually next year and in the previous years and watching this tradition continue. So I hope some of the younger guys on the team keep this tradition going.
Considering the caliber of the Queens men's rugby program, they will likely enjoy continued success. This is Holly Moore from Studio Q reporting.
I think it is. We're here at the One World Bazaar. Plenty of stuff to buy.
I'm going to buy all my Christmas presents here, I think.
Yeah, me too.
Everyone's going to get like a little pan flute or something fun like that, who knows? I don't know.
Or a wool sweater.
Anyway, something like that.
Yes.
If you have any questions or comments, you can write to us in room 050E in the JDEC, Queen's University, Kingston, Ontario, K7L 3 and 6. Or give us a call at 545-6699.
I was going to say that.
Okay.
But you should be sure and tune in next week because we have a short documentary on Studio Q's experience at Saturday Night Live. Pretty cool.
So tune in next week and we will see you next week.
Yeah, we will. Right. I'm Bob Partington.
And I'm Carolyn Taylor. See you next week. Bye.
My name is Maya, and I am a camera and editing person for Studio Q, and I've been sitting here for an hour and a half waiting for people from the Queen's community to come and voice their opinions in Vimeo, and no one has done it, which leads to the conclusion that Queen's people are chickens.
Hi, I'm here to announce the Con Ed semi-formal. It's November 18th at the Holiday Inn Hotel. Tickets are now on sale in Macintosh Quarry from 11 till 2 on weekdays until November 15th. We'd like you to come. It's a great time. It's an absolute party for the frosh you who are too afraid to go. Don't be ridiculous. This is the best time of your life, so go out and have some fun. Wear a jacket and tie, a nice dress. Come party with your upper years and your teachers.
Hi, this is a message for Andrea. I hope you're having a great time and call me this weekend. And I think we got you bad with that joke, Andrea, if Allie hasn't told you yet.
Hi. I'm here to say a few things. One, thank you to Golden Words for my 15 minutes of fame and a nice parody of the Journal last week. And thanks to all the folks at the Science Formal who made it such an enjoyable time. And this is my first time on Vimeo, and I'm kind of excited about it. So thanks to Studio Q. Bye.
Today what I want to talk about is my problem with women. It's not a very big problem. It's a minor problem. But I've decided, actually, to forget the whole thing. My best friend now is this dog. His name's Keto. Keto. He doesn't talk very much. He's not he's not my dog. He's a friend of mine's, but I walk him and I take care of him. And he's a lot better than girls because, I don't know, he just is. He doesn't tell me what to do. If I ask him if he's sad, he'll say yes and then not say no.